All right, want to just do it?
Yeah, and we'll just record it.
All right. Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for Indiana students, sponsored by the Indiana Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. Thank you for joining. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on the screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions happening, so make sure you check our full schedule at InACAC.org. And this presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website at InCAC.org. I'll now turn it over to our presenter, Carrie from Hope College.
Hello, everybody. My name is Carrie Olish, and I'm an assistant director for admissions at Hope College. So what does an assistant director mean? Well, I am a recruiter. I am someone that works with students from Indiana. I've worked with you all since probably 8 years. I'm actually a Hoosier too. I was born and raised in Indiana, in Elkhart, Indiana. So I want to show you a presentation of Hope. So if you'll give me a minute, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go to share in just a moment. And I am not sure that is sharing correctly. I'm going to stop it and start it again just to make sure. Thanks for your patience. There we are. So this picture is actually a picture taken for the girls basketball tournament. We are Division III school for basketball, and we're excited to say that we're ranked #1 right now for Division III in the NCAA. So a little bit first about myself, and I'm going to be kind of turning this way because I'm looking at my screen to move it. So this is me again, and that's my husband. I've worked for Hope for 10 years, and I actually attended a very large school in your state. And so I kind of know the difference between attending a huge university and going to a small school. I have 3 children, 2 of which graduated from Hope, and 1 is there now as a junior. We're a family that loves animals, and if you can kind of hear in the background, I have a little dog that's talking to me right now. But we have 3 dogs. One's 14, one's 4, and the other one, we call it our COVID puppy, because when the pandemic hit, we were one of those families who said, let's get another dog. I love to go to sporting events. I love to read. And my favorite thing is actually to travel. I lived overseas with our family for 3 years in Germany as well, in Dusseldorf, Germany. Here's our 3 little dogs. So the littlest is 14, that's Roxy. She's right here. And then over here is Ella, and that is our COVID puppy, Chang, who is big even as a puppy. So let's talk a little bit about Hope College. I want to talk to you about these 4 things: the academics, the student life, the faith life, and then kind of the admissions process as well. So where is Hope College? I've never heard of that in Indiana. Well, that's because we're in Michigan. And if you look over here, we are where the star is in Holland, Michigan. This area right here that's blue is all water, so you have beach access at Hope College. We are about, from the Indianapolis area, 3.5 hours. And you just go straight up Interstate 31. The picture up here is Lake Michigan, which is absolutely beautiful. Our students use the beach a lot. It's about 6 miles from campus, and you can get there obviously by car, but also by bike. There are bike trails that get you there. Fan favorite is when you first come in the fall, the water temperature is super warm, and so students are out there swimming and everything, depending on the weather, usually until at least the first or second week of October. And then the fan favorite is, believe it or not, to go watch the sunset. The beach is so crowded with Hope students watching the sunset. The other picture here is downtown Holland, which is 1 block from our campus, and they absolutely love Hope students. It's about 6 blocks long of food, pizza, ice cream, dinners, and then shopping, as well as great places to study. There's about 5 different coffee shops, and you will always see Hope students in there as well as professors. So it's a very friendly atmosphere, and as I said first, they love Hope students, so you can even get discounts with your ID. Okay, so next we have, why are we not going next? Okay, our academics. Hope is an honors college. So it falls under Phi Beta Kappa, and a lot of schools in Indiana and across the United States have a Phi Beta Kappa chapter. But at Hope, it is actually over all of our majors. So when you are admitted to Hope College, there's not a second step to be admitted to the Honors College. Hope is an honors college. About 17% of the colleges and the universities in the United States are honors, and Hope is one of those. So we're a liberal arts college. We're actually a Christian liberal arts college. So what does liberal arts mean? Well, compared to a university, a liberal arts structure says, yes, we have great majors. We have 91 of them. We have nursing, we have engineering, we have physics, we have dance, we have business, we have communications, we have English and writing. We really have a great many wonderful majors that take you on to the job market or graduate school. But with that degree, you also are going to take what you call general education classes. And they are in all different areas, cultural heritage, the arts. Maybe you're interested in going pre-med. Well, you're still going to take some art classes. What this is meant to be is to have you graduate as a very well-rounded student, a well-rounded individual who is going to be able to talk about a lot of different things. And I think one of the coolest things about this is, yes, you're going to be laser focused on your major, the one thing you're interested in to do the rest of your life maybe. But you're also going to learn other things that could become hobbies, other interests, things like that. Kind of interesting story, my son, who is a graduate of Hope, he was a business major. And when he was in the business program, you kind of go down all these different spokes. You can go down marketing and operations and finance and accounting and human resources. And before you decide which one you're going to go down, you kind of take classes in all of them. And he was thinking he was going to go into operations. Well, he had to take an art class at Hope to fill that general education. And he took the class, and it was a graphic design class, and he kind of called it his coloring class. Well, when he got in there, he realized he was pretty good at it, and he liked it. He realized from the teaching how color attracts people, and how words attract people to advertising, and how you present things visually. And because of that class, his coloring class, he decided to move over to marketing. And he now lives in New York City and works for a company, yes, in the marketing department. So it's amazing what a general education class can do for you. Some of the advantages of a smaller college are, and this is the same with all small colleges, the classrooms are smaller. You're really going to get to know your professor, and they're going to get to know you. They become mentors of you. I think to take it a step above that I've seen so much at Hope that I think differentiates us is the professors love students. These are all PhD professors, and they really love to teach. And so they do get to know you, but they care about you. They become mentors to you. Remember, we talked a little bit about downtown Holland and all the fun things it has and those 5 coffee shops. I can walk into any of those 5 coffee shops during the week and I will see a student and a professor chatting. They really like that interaction. This world is very competitive, so to have your professors as mentors is really helpful. Deciding on your major, knowing what grad school to go to, putting your resume together, preparing for interviews, all of that, the professors are very, very helpful. Okay, I'm going to click on the next one. So, okay, liberal arts. How many majors do we have? Well, we have 90 different majors. And we have minors, and then we have the pre-professional track. So let me talk real quickly about minors. Minors are like you could have a biology major and a business minor, and that is very common at Hope. But I do want to point out that double majoring is also very common, and you can do it in 4 years. So sometimes students get to college and they really can't decide exactly what they're going to do. They could double major, and so they could have a little bit of both. If you're interested in Hope and you're interested in double majoring, let me know and we can talk further about that. But that's very popular. Pre-professional programs, what are those? Well, we are an undergraduate institution. So all of our curriculum is undergrad. So if you want to go to medical school, you want to go into PT, OT, PA, vet, law, any of those programs that require a graduate degree, you will be going somewhere else. So Hope really prepares you and helps you with the interviewing process for graduate school, mentoring you through the process of this. So the curriculum is set so that if you're going to law school, you're prepared to take the LSAT exam. If you're going to medical school, you're prepared to take the MCAT exam. We have a whole bunch of those pre-professional programs. Hope is number 36 in the United States for undergraduate research. We're tied with Cornell University. So that can tell you right there, we're tied with an Ivy League school for undergraduate research. How did we get that? Well, we're a 158-year-old college, and we are founded in the sciences, and we started undergraduate research before a lot of undergraduate programs. So we've built this over the years. If you'd go to the National Science Foundation, you say, okay, who have you given the most money to? They're actually going to say Hope College, which is pretty cool. So that research is in the natural and applied sciences, but it's also across all majors. I'll reference my son real quick. We used to live in Europe, in Germany, and he speaks German, Deutsch. And so there was a professor who, the book is now published, but he wrote a book about a gentleman who came to the United States to study, but his parents were still in Germany, and they wrote letters back and forth and what that was like. And then unfortunately, one of the parents, grandparents was in a concentration camp. And so there's a whole story of how one member was in the US while all this was happening. Well, the letters that were sent over were in German. And so my son's job was to go through and put those into English for the book. And he was paid for that research, and his name is in the book for that. So this research can be in all different forms at Hope. A lot of students ask me about study abroad opportunities. Basically, you can go just about anywhere you want to in the United States. We have our own, and then we work with these 5 outside agencies that take you anywhere that's not on the no-fly list. One important thing about study abroad, though, is that when you do the study abroad, some schools charge you extra to do that, and at Hope, all of your merit scholarships, financial aid, all of that goes with you. So it's really kind of like just being on campus to study abroad financially. And you go abroad and you can be in classrooms, or you can actually be like a cultural study abroad and be part of the community. So the other thing that's really cool about Hope is we have a fully accredited dance program, theater, art, and creative writing, and music, vocal and instrumental. So if you are interested at all in the arts, that would be, I hope it would be a school you really want to look at. We're kind of one step down from a conservatory. So that's kind of the academic. I always say look at the academic circle and make sure that it's going to meet your needs, that it's going to challenge you, and know, depending on what kind of student you are, do you like to talk in the classroom, or professor's going to be there for you? So check, check, check for hope. But the other circle is student life. Student life is so important. It's where you're going to live for 10 months. So what does that look like? Well, when people visit Hope College, they always say, oh my gosh, it's so friendly there. And I have to tell you, working at Hope College, it is the friendliest place I have ever worked. I am so excited to be a part of the Hope community. And so we are a place where students come, they stay on campus, everybody lives on campus, and we're not a school where everybody just leaves on the weekend. Matter of fact, 1% of our student body is commuter students, and we have 3,200 students on the campus. So most people live right on the campus of Hope College. So student life. Every college has great student organizations. Hope has over 80. And the reason I say over 80, it ebbs and flows. Last year we had 90. I'm not quite sure of the number this year, but they're student run. So sometimes students have great ideas and a new one pops up. So this year, it's different, right? You're wearing a mask at school. You might be going some days, not all days. Some of you watching this may be all on virtual from home. So it's different at Hope too. But I'm so proud of the college because they found a way to still make community so important. One thing we have are intramural sports, and intramural sports are super fun at Hope because you can be a student athlete in high school and decide you don't want to play in college, but you can still continue your sport, like soccer or volleyball or sports like that. But at Hope, you can also be a student that says, you know what, I've never played soccer. I think I'm going to try to do that. So at Hope, we have two different levels of intramural sports, competitive and non-competitive. Competitive for the athlete that knows the game, wants to continue the sport, and they play on the varsity fields. And then non-competitive, I'm going to teach you the sport. You've never played before, let's learn it and have a good time. So there are tons of intramural sports. One of the favorites, though, that sounds super fun is co-ed inner tube water polo. And that started this month at 10 o'clock in the Dow in our pool. And they can stay enough apart that they're allowed to do this. So what are we doing in a time where you're wearing masks and you have to be socially distanced? You're right. We don't have soccer right now, too close. And we don't have flag football, too close. So what they did, they being the students, they decided we are going to have kickball tournaments. Last Friday night, there were 8 kickball tournaments going on. And it's so popular that the students are saying, oh my gosh, when we go back to normal, let's keep these kickball tournaments. Then they also are doing yoga. And we've moved in the state of Michigan to smaller groups to having 100. So they're doing yoga outside. And it's actually kind of beautiful. Big grassy area. Hope has a ton of grassy areas. And you see these students that are out there and they're doing yoga at the sunset or yoga in the sunrise or yoga at lunch. And it is pretty cool to see. Again, thinking outside the box of some of the things we can do. The other thing they're doing is Food Truck Friday. So on Fridays, all these different food trucks come around noon. It's completely free to the students. It's not part of the dining plan. And it looks really cool and it creates a sense of community. So that's fun as well. Again, think of Hope College in this era, and it's a place of community, still a place of community. We are thinking outside the box so our students get to know each other and really have a good time. Okay, so we do have Greek life. It's interesting because it was all founded at Hope, so they're called local fraternity and sororities, but they're as old as the fraternity and sororities that are at the large universities. So they have ones that are 130 years old, 145 years old, 120 years old. And all of the brothers and sisters that were part of them were part of them at the same college, Hope College, which is kind of cool. But I will say that does not drive our social network at Hope at all. It's about 20% of our students are part of Greek life. So Hope is kind of known for a place that you can be involved in a lot of different things. We also have service opportunities. We're right beside Holland, the town of Holland, as I mentioned, and there's hospitals and different places around our community that you can volunteer. And if you are a student that really likes to volunteer, what we do is the third weekend of the first semester and the third weekend of the second semester on Saturday, we have a volunteer day. You get t-shirts, you get free lunch, you pick the place you want to go volunteer, we get you there, you volunteer for a half day, maybe you like it, maybe you want to continue, but we call it a day of service. And it's fun because most of the Hope community participates, you meet new people, and you get to give of yourself. But you'll find building a resume in college, it's kind of nice to have some volunteer opportunities, and there are many at Hope College. So we also have some great traditions, which I'm going to share in a moment with you. And then I also already talked about the downtown area and our lakeshore area, which are fan favorites. So let's go to multicultural life, and then I'm going to go back to those traditions. Multicultural life at Hope, it looks very similar to a lot of schools. All schools want to increase the number of their diversity. Right now, we have about 21% of our student body are students of color. Our goal is to get it in the next 5 years to 30%. How are we doing that? Well, we're working with some outside agencies that actually work with high schools that kind of assist students in finding schools that will support them. And so Hope has become one of those schools. So we're hoping to reach our goal. But as far as the multicultural life at Hope, one of my favorite things that we have is a program called Phelps Scholars. And I can tell you off the top of my head about 15 students in the last 3 years from the Indianapolis area that participated in this program. And what you do have to apply for it. There's not a scholarship for it, but you live together your freshman year in a residential hall with students that are from all different backgrounds. And the criteria to do that is you have a desire to learn about other cultures. So our study abroad students, our overseas students, our international students, all three of those will live there if they'd like to. We have students from all over the United States, depending on where they have gone to school, that either weren't from a diverse high school and would like to experience that, or maybe they feel more comfortable in more of a diverse place. So there's Black, Latino, white, Indian, Asian, just everything there. And it's so interesting. Every student that I've worked with that has decided to do this program has said it was a life changer. It just opened their eyes. So you only do it for your freshman year, and you actually do, I guess you could call them field trips. You have the opportunity to go to the Detroit area. There's a Holocaust museum there that they visit, and then they actually go to Chinatown and Chicago. Those two are pretty close to Hope, like 3 hours apart. And they actually have gone to Conner Prairie too, in the Indianapolis area. So again, taking you somewhere, having you experience something, and then talking about it, and then you're living together. So that's a pretty cool environment. Over all of that is a thing called the Center for Diversity and Inclusion. And this is a place that you can go and just hang out and chill. And then it also has all these offshoots of student groups that you can participate in, but it's run by faculty and staff. And then also there's the Office for International Education, and that office, it kind of combines with the study abroad. So if you want to do something abroad, you'd work with that office on where you want to go, but they also work with domestic. education. So if you want to head out to San Francisco or Chicago and work kind of in a diverse population there, they help you that for a job or an internship or even a study domestically semester. Okay. Okay, traditions. Oh my goodness, what is that? That is called the Pull, and it is the longest running college tradition in the United States. And there's a whole thing on YouTube about it. If you want to go on YouTube and just type in the Pull at Hope College. But basically what it is, it's a tug of war contest that has gone on for over 103 years. In the history of Hope College, 103 years, this is the first year that we're not having it. That's what the pandemic will do. But let me explain it to you because I am sure it'll be back next year. So what you do is they build these like trenches that you're going to stand in waist high, and you have a rope that's really, really thick. You can kind of see that on there. Can you see it in the back? Oh, I guess you can't, but it's really thick, and they wear gloves, and they're pulling over the Black River. So one team's on one side, one team's on the other side of the Black River. One team are freshmen, one team are sophomores. Then they have coaches. With the freshmen, the juniors coach them, and with the sophomores, the seniors coach them. So it's this all campus event. As you can see, War Paint is on there, and I don't know if you can really see, but he has a mohawk. So if you are a sophomore, you usually get a mohawk, the whole team. There's girls and guys laying next to them that are called moralers, and what they're doing is kind of coaching them, and it's not like rah rah go, it's like 1 2 3 pull. This goes on now for 3 hours, but they had to put it at a time limit of 3 hours because it used to be it went on forever, and one time it went on for 8 hours. There are ambulance services there. The media's there. It's actually a super cool event. And again, it is the longest running college tradition in the United States. The second tradition we have is called InACAC. And if you're an artsy person, this could be really fun for you because again, it's a competition between freshmen and sophomores, and you put on a play that you all write, or you do songs where you're kind of in a choir format, but you use hand motions to make like a heart with red gloves, or you might throw up confetti in the song. So it's all choreographed through the hands of the singers. And then there's an orator. There's one person that orates, gives a speech. There's a panel of judges, and an award is given. Now this InACAC also has moralers, and they're girls and guys that help with the skit. During the practice times, they're bringing pizza and drinks, and they're like, you can do this, you can win this year, and they give them little gifts, flowers, things like that. So they're kind of lifting their spirits while coaching them at the same time, which is pretty cool. And I actually think these are both really cool traditions because they bring the whole campus together. So you may not participate in the actual tradition, but you sure can go and watch. So athletics at Hope. This is not a staged picture. Our community goes to athletics. This is in DeVos, and it's either a girls or a guys basketball game or a volleyball game. So you will see students. We have an awesome student section that's sponsored by Mountain Dew. You will see faculty, you will see staff, and you will see the Hope community. So it has that feel. If you are an athlete looking at Hope, you need to know that you are going to be playing in front of a crowd. We love our athletics, and we really want to win. So we're Division III. There is not any scholarship money offered, but there is a great balance between your academics and your athletics. Your athletics will never get in the way of your academics. All of our coaches are professors at Hope, so if you're on your way to a meet or a game or something and you needed to take a quiz, they can proctor the quiz. So they can really work with the academic side. So we have 20 varsity sports, and then we talked a little bit earlier about clubs and intramural sports. Faith life. Okay, so we're a Christian school. What does that mean? Well, in the United States, there are all different kinds of Christian schools. There are some that you go to that you have to participate in their programs, their chapel services, their Bible studies, and they keep track by you swipe your card, and you have to do so much a semester, and there's a lot going on in those campuses. Then there's the campuses where it's completely up to you. That they don't keep track of you, and maybe there isn't as much going on. We are a combination of the two. It isn't mandatory, it is invitational. So you do not have to participate if you do not want to. The only thing you have to do at Hope College is to take 2 semesters of a religion course. So it ends up being 6 hours. Actually, it's a semester and a half. So you take a 4-credit class that is for a whole semester, and then a 2-credit class that's a half a semester. And those, you have like 51 different choices of classes to take. But other than that, that's your only requirement. But the neat thing about Hope is it's vibrant. Students do go to chapel. Students do participate in Bible studies. Students do go on mission trips. Students do participate in small groups. Just to give you an example, this picture is we're on the stage and we're kind of looking out at the chapel service. Again, this is not a staged picture. This is actually what it looks like pre-COVID. Right now we're doing it virtually, but there's a balcony you can see in the back, and then there's a main floor. That chapel seats 1,400 students, and it is packed Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for 28 minutes when there are no classes at 10:30 in the morning. Now, like I said, it seats 1,400 students, and there are 3,200 students on campus. So not everybody goes, but the students who want to go to it are engaged. They're not on their iPhones. They don't have their earbuds in. They're in there worshiping. And we're standing kind of behind the stage. And what you see right in front of us is the chapel band. And the chapel band is students with 1 faculty member that leads them. There's actually 3 different bands, and then they alternate. And you'll see on the side over there, there's some vocalists, and there's 3 sets of vocalists, and they alternate the chapels as well. There's auditions for this, and the music is Christian contemporary. It's really good music. And then the message they give is all for the students, usually out of the New Testament. And then they occasionally have speakers as well. So again, on the bottom of the screen, you'll see nothing prescribed or required. But if you're interested in a Christian school where you can grow in your faith, please give a look at Hope, because it is ideal for that. Okay, so here's a couple other like offshoots of faith life. I mentioned the chapel service in the mornings. Gathering is in the evening on Sunday evening for an hour. We have immersion trips, the Bible study. The seed trips are actually groups of people that go somewhere spring break, and they're more of a mission type work. Like one time they went to Haiti and they worked on building houses there for the spring break week. We also have Young Life College, which is fairly new at Hope. I know in a lot of the schools in the Indianapolis area, you have Young Life chapters, and we actually work with area high schools with Young Life with Hope students. And then we have the version in the middle schools as well. But we also now invited Young Life on our campus for the college age. So you can actually do a little of both if you want. And it's poppin'. It's really well attended. Okay, so we have about maybe 10 minutes. And I want to go through the admissions process. And then at the end of this, I'm gonna tell you some questions that I normally have after this presentation. So our application went live August 1st, and we accept 1 of 2 applications. It's your choice. We do the common application. That's the big long one that you just check the box that you want it to come to Hope College. And then we also have our own application that's on the website. There is no huge difference between the 2. They really ask about the same question. So it's really up to you which one you want to do. For the first time ever, we are a free application, and we did that because of the pandemic. It's a really hard financial time for many people, and this was just one way we could give back. It's going to be different for us because we're a school that reads every application twice. So the admission structure isn't changing in that way, but it is a free application. We have a thing called early decision. It is not binding. You can apply to as many schools as you want, but early decision is if you get your application in by November 1st, then we can have an admission decision for you by the week of Thanksgiving. And with this early decision, we take about 80% of the applicants and offer admission to. That's about 80% of our class in that first round. After November 1st, we still are looking at students, but you go into rolling admission. And then you hear back from us in about 4 to 6 weeks. So in the application process, who are we looking for? Well, we're looking for exactly kind of what I've been talking about. That academic bubble, we're looking for students with a 3.0 and above. So A and B students. And in that community bubble, we're looking for students who want to be part of the community. Are you someone that was involved in your community or involved in your high school? And it doesn't mean involved 24/7. It means that you were going to the high school, you're living in the community, and you also did something to be a part of it. So you could be a part of an organization, you could have led an organization, you could have volunteered in your community, you could have worked in your community in a part-time job, but you're just doing something that you're being a part and present of where you're living. So we look for that. What kind of community member would you be at Hope? Would you be willing to give your time? Are you going to be involved in different clubs and activities? And we can kind of look at this based on what you've done in high school. We read your essay as well, and we're trying to gather personality and just more of the community member spirit. Of course, we look at the grammar and how everything reads. And I love to laugh and cry and read it and go, oh my gosh, that essay's over with. That was fantastic. So yes, I am the reader on your application. I am the one who gets to go through everything and make that decision for you. But I also am the one that wants to be helpful to you. So you can ask me anything about your application before you submit it. So the next deliverable, actually that isn't on the screen that's pretty important, is when do you get merit scholarships? Merit scholarships are delivered to you in December, right before Christmas, if you got your acceptance letter and it was a yes, the week of Thanksgiving. For Indiana students, you are eligible for an out-of-state scholarship of $5,000. And that is stackable on top of your merit scholarship. Merit scholarships start at a 3.2 grade point average. And then they start at about $8,000 a year, and then they go up to $20,000 a year. So 5/1, May 1st, is the National Decision Day. That is the day that you need to kind of decide where you're going to go. At Hope, it's really important to let us know by depositing if you are going to come. The reason for that is we always have a wait list. And if you wait until after, you may fall down on the wait list. Okay, so financial aid and scholarships. If you're going to file need-based aid, as every school you've listened to has told you, you can do that right now. It opened on 10/1. For Hope, if you can get us all the information by the end of this month, beginning of next month, and you're admitted to Hope, we can have a financial aid package for you beginning in February, the beginning of February. We work kind of with two departments here, but you will get to know me really well, and I will walk you through the process of financial aid. Once you apply for financial aid, some of the things I cannot see that you have sent in, but we have a financial aid office that can talk to you more about the details, and the three of us kind of start working together. So here's some of the questions that I get about Hope College. Is this a place that I can go home as much as I want, like, will I still be part of the community? I'm going to be honest with you. Hope College is a community, and we are looking for students who want to stay on the weekends, because that's what Hope students do. If you're a student that really wants to go to more of a commuter school, go to school, go home on the weekend, Hope probably isn't for you. But if you're a student that is looking for a community, something friendly, where it's easy to make friends, get involved quickly with all different kinds of things, or maybe you have a drive to create your own club, Hope is a place that you really, really want to look. The other thing I get now is, are you open? Can I visit? Yes, you can visit. We are open Monday through Friday, and it is so easy. Just go to hope.edu/visitors, and it'll give you all your options. The other thing I get is there a time that I can just do some things virtually? We have open houses. You can meet with me online, and you can take a tour given by a student that will allow you to share. She or he shares their screen, so they're live with you, but then they walk you around campus via pictures, tell their story, answer your questions. We started doing this in May, and it has been so awesome that we will always do that. We will always have these virtual visits. So again, my name is Carrie. I work with every student in Indiana, whether they're homeschooled or they're going to a private school or a public school. Here is my information again. It's my last name, Olish, at hope.edu. You'll see a phone number of 616-834-3742. That is actually my personal cell phone. I give it out to all students and families. Feel free to text me with any questions at all. All I ask is, the first time you text me, make sure you tell me who you are. And then if you want more information on visiting, those virtual and in person, it's the hope.edu admissions visit, Hope at Home. So I want to thank you so much for your time. I'm going to stop sharing now. Back to me. And I would love for you to come visit our beautiful campus or chat with you online if you would like that. So I thank you so much for your time, and all the best on your college search.
Carrie, thank you so much for your presentation. I learned so much from Hope College today.
Good, thanks.
And everyone else, once again, thank you for joining us. There is a quick survey when you do leave. It's only 4 questions, so please complete the quick survey. And you can also, with this session and other sessions, will all be on our website at inacac.org. And thank you for coming. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Carrie.
Thank you. It was nice meeting you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. So
well, that was really interesting, talking to nobody. So, but thanks for listening.
Carrie. It looks like it's still recording. 1 second. 1 second. It's beeping now. Hold on. How do I stop this? 1 second. Okay.
Well, I'll go ahead and sign out. Maybe that would help.
Yeah, I might have to hit end, but it's a pleasure meeting you, Carrie.
Okay. It was really nice meeting you. All the best. Okay.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.